5 luxury cars that both my mechanic and my banker agree with that you need to buy this year in 2026. I put together a list of all these cars, these great used luxury cars that you would want to own. They drive well, they look great, and honestly, they carry a name that makes you feel good. You close the door, you take a second look back, and they're wonderful. But most importantly, the mechanic gives them the green light because they're not going to be constantly breaking down. They're some of the most reliable luxury cars you'll find on the market today. They're going to be lower maintenance costs, lower service costs, quite often overlooked. There's reasons for that, and I'm going to share that. But also, in this list, my banker loves some of these cars too, because as a used car buy, he recognizes they've gone through some of the most massive level of depreciation you could possibly imagine. The first owners are hating on them, but you, as the second owner, are loving this. You can get an amazing car that's only 4 or 5 years old that has lost 50, 60% of its original value. There's reasons for that they've lost their value. And it's not reliability because, like I said, my mechanic already says they're good to go. So between the mechanic and the banker, they both finally agree. Here's 5 amazing models, and we're going to take this from the top. The first one you really have to take a look at. They don't sell them anymore. They're discontinued. And that's one of the big reasons why they haven't sold particularly well on the secondary market, which means they're a steal for you. That's the Acura RLX. Not only has it been discontinued, but it also has a poor brand awareness. Not a lot of people think when they want to spend luxury dollars that they want to buy an Acura, especially a car. Everybody wants SUVs these days, but the RLX is a wonderful car. It has a silky smooth V6 engine. The average maintenance costs are far lower than most of its competition. I mean, ultimately, the Acura is a Honda product. You buy a Honda product, other than some of their outgoing engines, the 1.5 turbos, almost every Honda product is a solid buy. But on top of it, what you're going to find is when people are thinking about buying a luxury car, they're thinking about buying a BMW, Mercedes, Audi, Benz. They're not thinking an Acura. And if they are thinking Japanese cars, most of them are going right to Lexus. They don't even look anywhere else. And unfortunately for Acura, that's been one of the biggest downfalls, is brand awareness. A lot of people just aren't aware of these cars, the manufacturer as a whole. As a matter of fact, Honda sales have been up in the last numerous months and years, but Acura sales are down. They're not selling a lot of cars. A lot of their cars are absolutely amazing, understated. But the problem is Lexus seems to own this space. The reputation carries Lexus along. Most people trust Toyota more than Honda. Most people trust Lexus more than Acura. But that isn't always to be painted with the same brush. See, because the RLX, big, beautiful, luxurious car, you feel like a rock star in this thing. It's luxurious, it's smooth, it's comfortable, V6, which is hard to get these days. Everybody's going with turbo 4s, including even Mercedes-Benz. You can't even find a proper V6 anymore. Everything's with turbo 4s and hybrids. Who wants that? Sure, BMW's got some great inline 6s, but unfortunately the great gems like the B58, which is always going to be a great buy, unfortunately is going to be expensive on the secondary market because everybody's aware of it. The B58 is a legend. And because of it's such a legend, people are paying top dollar on the secondary market for the BMWs. That's why the RLX by Acura is that car you need to seriously consider on the secondary market. It's reliable, your mechanics love them, they're easy to work on, but also they've lost a ton of money. 50% in 5 years means that you can see an amazing car deal on the secondary market that you couldn't have only dreamed of. Why buy that car new? Why buy a Lexus when you can buy one of these? Because they're an absolute great car for pennies on the dollar. Another one of the most amazing deals that both your mechanic's going to love and your banker's going to say, give you the green light on because it's not going to break the bank. On the secondary market, it means the initial buyer lost all the money. Now you just get to enjoy it. Yes, most of the time, the first owners put the paint protection film, a second set of wheels on these cars, and have taken care of it. Put extra mud guards and the all-weather mats. Now you scoop in buying a Volvo S90 as a secondary owner for pennies on the dollar. It's a great car, and that's the problem. It's a car. And that's why you're getting such a great deal, because everybody knows now the full-size car market is dying. Nobody's buying them. Everybody wants an SUV today, and that's why you can get one of the best luxury sedans on the market, bar none. The other problem why the prices drop so hard is, Let's be honest. Who buys Volvos? It's a small, shrinking niche type of an industry or space. Nobody's buying these cars. Some people don't know if it's luxury. Some people don't know if it's a regular brand. Some people just don't know about them at all. They have a smaller network support as well, and a lot of people are just scared about that. But if you live in a city of 1 million or more, you've probably got at least one Volvo dealer in your area. But the S90 also suffers another issue, a conundrum. The fact that there's heavy lease. That's right. Many of these vehicles were sold initially under a lease pretension. So people were buying them under leases. A lot of these leases come to fruition. Who's buying a used luxury car called Volvo? Not many people. But guess what? Volvos have excellent crash protection. Volvos have improved safety. Of course, a lot of their technology is vastly improved. And even a lot of their turbocharged engines have become much better in recent years. Volvo is clearly an underdog, a brand that a lot of people don't even think about. They're too busy chasing around the luxury brands from, BMW and Mercedes, and they forget about brands like this. It's a wash. Sure, while the manufacturing location may change and the ownership of these vehicles have changed over the years, the fact is the quality of these vehicles hasn't changed that much. They're still fairly well made. The technology is a little heavy in them, and there have been some problematic models like the XC90 has been a little bit busier in terms of technology and, of course, spending time in the service shop. But the S90, you're dropping so much of that initial value in the first 4 or 5 years that it wonders, where is the bottom? Well, you as a secondary owner can get one of the best deals on a Volvo S90, and truly, they're reliable and they're cost effective as a used car buy. The next one is one that I literally can't believe people aren't buying. I'm literally shocked. This is truly a gem and one of those vehicles that you really need to take a look at. That's right, with Toyota level of reliability, lower costs and repairs, and infrequent servicing means it's a car that you just can't hate no matter what. But there's a win. You can buy one of these for pennies on the dollar. That's right, we're talking about the Lexus LS. That's right, full-size sedan. Now the drawback is that model's shrinking and going away. Nobody's buying them, and unfortunately the end of the road is coming near for the LS. But the LS is a full-size luxury sedan. It's reliable, frequently runs over 300,000 miles, and complaints are very few and far between. Again, one of the major reasons it depreciates so hard, nobody knows about it. Who knows about the Lexus LS? Everybody knows about the RX and the GX and all of those great models. But who's talking about an LS? Nobody. They're sort of out of sight, out of mind. And unfortunately, you remember the GS? That was also a great car that went away. Too little, too late. Now I see them on the market and I just want to buy one because they look great, they perform well, and they're super reliable. You can literally have your cake and eat it too. See, the beauty with the LS is it has a V6 engine that's turbocharged, it's powerful, it's durable. But honestly, it's just that kind of car. Everybody's looking at SUVs, everybody's looking at, at the big players like the BMWs or even Lexus, and nobody's looking at the LS specifically. Big full-size sedan. We know the market's dying for the sedans. We know the luxury car segment shrinking. People are looking for more frugal driving experiences. But guess what? For the price of a brand new Accord, you can get yourself a slightly used Lexus LS. Twice the car, twice the performance, and the prestige of the name, and a car that will literally run forever. My mechanic's recommending these all day long. I'm shocked that nobody's buying them. Same with the Lexus GS, would be another one I want to slide in there for good measure. The GS, which is gone already, the LS, which is going away soon, are great cars. Sure, the IS350 is one of the best cars you can buy by Lexus right now. They have one of the best V6 engines available, bar none. But even that car is going to go away here right away too. So get them while they're hot. Not everybody wants to buy an SUV. This is a classic example of a great luxury car that you really seriously need to buy. Another one isn't one that I often suggest. Hyundai, Kia, and Genesis being the luxury brand. Genesis has a variety of different models. And when we all think about Hyundai, Kia, we think Theta 2 and all those trash engines that were failing. But we fail to realize that some of their V6, and V8 engines are some of the most reliable engines that you could possibly dream for. As a matter of fact, the Genesis G80 is one of those vehicles. It lacks the brand strengths that a lot of the competition has. Lexus, even Acura, Mercedes, BMW, Audi. All of those have been around a long time, and they're great brands with great options. But a lot of people don't even bother. They gloss over the Genesis G80s. Have you seen the quality of the fit and finish of these? They look a lot with the quilted seats like you're finding in Audis, but with technology that works. It's durable. And the interior now, dare I say, feels more quality than a lot of the late model Mercedes-Benz cars. It feels like a well put together luxury vehicle. But nobody looks at these. Why? Because they're kind of the new kid on the block. Nobody's buying them. But the G80, being a full-size sedan for Genesis, is just like their bigger brothers, some of the SUVs. But the SUVs sell well, but the G80 just doesn't. It's a car. It's a big car. And a lot of people, again, gloss over an industry, a sector, a genre of luxury vehicles that people aren't buying. The industry is dying. Nobody's buying full-size luxury sedans anymore. Nobody wants them. Nobody's buying them. On the new car market, they sell well because a lot of these products are incentivized heavy under leases. So a lot of them are leased to the tune of 40, 50, 60% of these vehicles are leased. So when they show up on the secondary market, who's buying them? Well, really nobody wants them on the used car market. But all these leases come to fruition. That's why there's so many out there. There's a mass abundance. But on the used market, nobody's really shopping for these vehicles. That's a big reason why they depreciate as much as 40 to 55% in short years. Wait for 5, 6, 7 years down the road and you'll see these down around, 30% of their original value. That's an immense bargain. So when many people are out there buying their 4-cylinder Mercedes or their 4-cylinder Audi, there's still V6 and V8 engines available in these products. The Genesis G80 is just that car. Nobody's shopping for them. Nobody's buying them. Barely anybody's even heard of them. But when you look at the interior, the fit and finish, the seating material, the quality of the dash and the technology and the functionality of it all, it literally makes some of their competition blush. I'm shocked that nobody's even looking at these vehicles. And because they sell so poorly on the secondary market, you can get yourself a heck of a gem. Cheap, reliable, and they'll save you a ton of money. Why buy new when you could buy one of these 4 years old? And the fifth one is one that both my mechanic loves because he's worked on a multitude of these and they constantly show up with minimal issues and mostly just servicing. So definitely recommended there. And my banker recommends them because after 5 years, you're looking at about 60%, 65% depreciation. In other words, you're only paying a third of the vehicle that it costs brand new. And you're getting a vehicle that may only have 30, 40, 50,000 miles. Additional benefits of owning an Infiniti QX80, the older generation, is it had the V8 engine. Sure, while the new one has a twin-turbo V6, which still looks like quite a robust unit, the outgoing model had that beautiful 5.6-liter naturally aspirated V8. Heavy on fuel, some people are turned off by that. It has a poor brand image. Infiniti, Nissan, many people have talked about them potentially going out of business. But those are problems for a lot of people trying to sell these as the first owners. A lot of people don't even want to step into the dealerships thinking that how long are they going to be in business for? How long can I get parts for? How long can I get service for? But these are those vehicles that are easily maintained by just about anybody with an NAV8, old technology. And the beauty for you as a secondary owner on these used luxury vehicles is nobody knows about them. Nobody wants them. Anybody wanting an SUV that's the size of a Greyhound bus is going to go to one of the large size Cadillac Escalades, maybe BMW X7. They may look an Audi Q7 or Q8, or they're going to go to some of the bigger well-known luxury brands. They're not going to look at the Infiniti because it has a bad reputation. But guess what? These QX80s don't have garbage transmissions like the CVTs that you're finding in the little trashy Rogues. They don't have all those recalls with 500,000 vehicles because of recall issues or the throttle body problems or any of those other issues. This is a good old-fashioned, almost like the Titan. It's essentially built on the Nissan Titan or V8 engines with the 5.6-liter that were ultra durable. I don't even know why the Titan went away. It was just poor sellability, brand awareness, and nobody was buying them. They're great trucks. Same thing with the QX80 by Infiniti. Very few people are buying them on the used market. That drives the prices down. The brand awareness And the reputation with some of their smaller entry-level junk has hurt the brand a lot. But trust me when I say the QX80 is truly one of those vehicles. Same with the Nissan Armada, which is essentially the downscale version of the same product. Also a durable vehicle. Lots of space, 3-row, large as a bus and a house. But guess what? They're reliable, and they'll save you a ton of money on this back end when you buy them used. Will you spend a lot in gas? Absolutely. They're thirsty. But so is an Escalade. So are a lot of the vehicles in the same class. A full-size SUV with this size and girth is going to cost you a little bit more fuel. You need the space, you're going to pay for it. But honestly, these are some of the best vehicles in the luxury car segment that both my mechanic and banker both love. Be sure to check out those videos. You're going to want to check those out. Definitely support, binge watch, help the channel. And again, as always, don't forget the membership down there as well. If you're not currently a member, be sure to hit that membership icon, and that would really be supported and appreciated. Thank you very much, everybody. Talk to you in the next one. Bye-bye.